We are from Group 8, and now we will present about the curriculum and material Grade 9. And me, Putu Laraswati Resja Putri, 9 PM 0026.
And me, Ketut Era Andani, 0010.
And me, my name is Kasih Wulandari, my NPM is 0023.
First, abstract. Learning principles are law of learning. They provide the research based on conceptual foundation for how people learn. Learning principles add insight into what makes people learn most effectively. These learning principles should constantly guide all TPS staff in their instructional and other education. Point 1. Basic principles. The purpose of this text is to assess a new teacher's knowledge and understanding of educational practice foundational to beginning a career as a professional educator. Examines taking principles of learning and teaching will typically have completed or will have nearly completed an undergraduate education program. It includes questions that apply specifically to the state grade range of tests as well as some that are universal to all grade levels. Students or learners. A. Students' development and the learning process. Understanding the theoretical foundation how students learn. Now, the major contribution of foundational theories to education. Understand the concept and relate to a variety of learning theories. Now, the distinguishing characteristic of stage in each domain of human development: cognitive, physical, social, and moral. And the last, understand how learning theory and human development impact the instructional process. B. Students as diverse learners. Understand that a number of variables affect how individual students learn and perform. Recognize area of exceptionality, their potential impact on student learning. Understand the implication and application of legislation relating the students with exceptionality and on classroom practice. Recognize the traits, behavior, and needs of intellectually gifted students. Recognize that the process of English language acquisition affects to the educational experience of English language learners. Now, a variety of approaches for accommodating students with externalities in each phase of the education process.
C. Student motivation and learning environment. 1. Notes the major contribution of foundational behavioral theories to education. 2. Understand the implication of foundational motivation theories for interaction, learning, and classroom management. 3. Notes principle and strategy for classroom management. 4. Notes a variety of strategy for helping students develop self-motivation. Instructional process. A. Planning instruction. 1. Understand the role of district, state, and national standards and frameworks in instructional planning. 2. Knows how to apply the basic concept of predominant educational theories. 3. Understand how scope and sequence affect instructional planning. 4. Knows how to select content to achieve lesson and unit objectives. 5. Knows how to develop observable and measurable instructional objectives in the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains. 6. Is aware of the need for and is able to identify various resources for planning, enrichment, and remediation. B. Instructional strategies. 1. Understand the cognitive process associated with learning. 2. Understand the distinguishing features of different instructional models. 3. Note a variety of instructional strategies associated with each instructional model. 4. Note a variety of strategies for encouraging complex cognitive process. 5. Note a variety of strategies for supporting student learning. C. Questioning techniques. 1. Note the component of effective questioning. 2. Understand the use of questioning. 3. Note strategy for supporting students in articulating their ideas. 4. Note methods for encouraging higher level of thinking. D. Communication techniques. 1. Understand various verbal and non-verbal communication models. 2. Is aware of how culture and gender can affect communication. 3. Knows how to use various communications tools to enrich the learning environment. Assessment. A. Assessment and evaluation strategies. 1. Understands the role of formal and informal assessment in informing the instructional process. 2. Understand the distinctions among the different types of assessment. 3. Knows how to create and select an appropriate assessment format to meet instructional objectives. 4. Knows how to select from a variety of assessment tools to evaluate students' performance. 5. Understand the rationale behind and the use of student self and peer assessment. B. Assessment tools. 1. Understand the types and purpose of standardized tests. 2. Understand the distinction between norm reference and criterion reference scoring. 3. Understands terminology relates to testing and scoring. 4. Understand the distinction between holistic and analytical scoring.
Point 2 about English lesson. Grade 9 is high school and is a totally different language. This is almost the last stage of school, and English language teaching at this stage is almost very reinforcement and revision, along with introduction to literature, which means poetry, novel, drama, and short fiction. Reading comprehension at grade 9 is of a higher order and more sophisticated than before. It is likely that many educational systems of the world will use literature, poetry, prose, and drama from very famous writers as instructional material at this stage. This is with the aim of getting learners to be acquainted with how language can be used for literary purposes. Writing at this stage mostly consists of functional writing such as letter writing and creative or imaginative writing. Point 3 about teaching media. Contrary to popular belief, cyberbullying remains a problem in high school. Students in this grade should learn the ways that they can speak out and make a difference. But in case of individual cyberbullying and in building more tolerant and respectful online spaces. Cell phone ownership also speaks in older grades. That makes it essential to teach the students how to balance their online and offline life and deal with the stress of social media, because teens are constantly building a digital footprint as they send and share content online. It's also important that they learn how to make a positive impression and to consider the need to get consent before sharing a photo or any other content belonging to someone else. Secondary students through the internet for news and current affairs, making it essential that they learn to use finding and verifying skills both inside and outside in the classrooms. Magazine, the web, and social media to learn about topics of interest, especially subjects that are embarrassing or taboo, such as sexuality, relationship, and mental health issues. Media literacy education is also needed to critically engage with representation of sexuality in social media. Thank you.